Hey guys, welcome back to Spooky Tuesday, a weekly podcast where we're breaking down all of our favorite slashers, thrillers, monster movies, and black comedies on the new scariest day of the week. I'm Sydney Thompson.
I'm Monica Height.
And I'm Chelsea Duff, and it's my birthday episode.
Hey, it's Chelsea birthday.
Yay, Chelsea birthday.
Never
Chelsea
forget.
birthday to me.
Chelsea birthday. It's so weird that
You
Stevie
can
Wonder
continue.
wrote that song about you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird that Chelsea's in the original lyrics, but
Yeah,
a lot
it
of
is
people
the
don't sing it
original
that way.
lyrics.
Yeah.
It literally
I know.
just flows so well together. How could it be any other lyric?
No, it
Mhm.
just makes sense.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Queen.
Thank
How are you
you.
feeling?
Oh my God, I feel great. 3 is my lucky number, and I'm 33 now. Well, technically
Woo!
in 2 days. This is my birthday episode, so it counts. Today's
It
my
does.
It does
birthday. Whenever
It's
you're
your
listening to
birthday.
this, it's my birthday.
The whole month is
Um,
actually your birthday, Queen.
Whenever you
That's
think
how it
about
goes.
this movie, it's my birthday, and you have to be so nicey nice, actually. Because this week we are doing a movie that is pretty universally ignored and hated. I would
Yeah.
say. Pretty much everybody in the
Yeah.
fandom tries to pretend it doesn't exist. But it was made in a lab for me, Chelsea Duff. And that movie is The Descent 2. And I'm so excited because I don't know if you guys recall, I didn't really like the Descent one that much. Kind of made me mad. And there was like stuff in it that was like good, but I was just like, whatever. You can go listen to the episode if you want to hear what I have to say about it because we covered it. But then after
It's gonna come up today.
it's gonna come up because this is actually a sleeper spooky take Tuesday for The Descent as well. Because it's my birthday and I get to do whatever I want. So I also rewatched it. I know Monica rewatched it. I don't think Sydney rewatched it, but that's okay. We'll catch you up, Queen.
I think I
But
vaguely
yeah.
remember what
I'm
happened.
not prepared to do a Spooky Tape Tuesday on the Descent one. I watched
Well,
it.
don't
and
worry.
I sped forward through
Yeah.
so much.
I just have some important talking points because it's so relevant for The Descent
Oh,
too.
yeah,
It's
of
like I
course.
needed to do my homework. So I went and I rewatched The Descent 1, and then I went and I reviewed parts of our episode on The Descent. And
Chelsea
then
came
I watched
prepared.
The
The
Descent 2.
tech.
Yeah.
It's her birthday, and
It's my
Chelsea.
birthday, and sometimes you got to do your homework. And this is another opportunity for me to also grandfather in my talking points about The Descent, 47 meters down extended universe, and The Fall, and how those 3 franchises are kissing on the mouth.
They really are.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on. But yeah, everybody hates this movie and wishes she didn't exist except for me, who got everything that I wanted finally out of it. But it's just so funny to me because again, I had my issues with The Descent, and then later I was like, I just wonder what the sequel is about. Like, I'm just curious. And I did the same thing with Hell House LLC, which I also hated. And then I was like, what's going on with the rest of the movies? Sometimes you just gotta lock in even further. And so I watched this one, and I was as soon as it got to that one point in the movie where there's a particular reveal that we can discuss and link later, I was like, oh my God, like, okay, amazing. I'm like I'm present, and thank you. And they were thinking of me. And then I made you guys watch it last year because I was like, you have to see for yourselves that this is a Chelsea movie. And we watched it all together last year. We had a little movie night. Or 2 years ago, maybe.
It was 2 years ago because I had forgotten this movie almost completely.
Yeah, it was
But
when we did
not all the
Malignant.
way.
We did a little movie night when we did Malignant. We also watched The Descent too. And I think maybe that same trip we also watched Fall. Because I was like, okay, let's complete the trifecta.
I think we also did too, because I would never have watched Fall by myself.
No, and it's like not that. I mean, it's fine. It's a perfectly fine film. But what is really interesting about it is the way that it is. Again, they're all kissing on the lips.
Yeah.
So, but if you haven't seen this Descent 2, I will read you the log line. It reads, refusing to believe her story about cave-dwelling monsters, the sole survivor of a spelunking exploration gone horribly wrong is forced to follow the authorities back into the caves where something awaits.
Oh
It's not a bad
no.
summary, but it also is not particularly vibey.
We already know what the something is.
Yeah,
Well,
like you
not
don't
all
have
of
to
it,
be
but most of it,
so mysterious.
99% of it, the
Yeah.
something, we know what it is.
Like you're
Which
not
I
watching this
think,
movie if you haven't seen the first one.
yeah, I think for me, and I'll be negative at the beginning, and then I will
And then you'll
pretend
get out of the
to
way.
feel
Okay.
differently for the entire rest of the movie. I think, or the episode. I think the issue with this movie and why it doesn't hit as well, for the record, in case you don't recall, I loved The Descent, and
Yeah.
watching it again today, I think it fucks heavy, and I still don't understand, but it's fine. But like, I think the issue with this movie, there are many, but the one that is the most frustrating to me is that like the last one was so good because it was so scary on its own before you even added in the fucking bat like blind ooey
The
gooey
crawlers.
goblins that live down in the bottom of all this shit. It was so scary. There was claustrophobia, there was like the pitch black dark, like like crawling through like unsafe spaces, uncharted territory, so many things that were already terrifying. And then there interpersonally, it was really interesting. There was like strife between the girls and trauma and grief and things like that, and psychological. There's a lot more psychological horror aspects to it. And then on top of that, there are these fucking monsters that came out of nowhere, and you're like, holy shit. This one, we already know all of that shit, and so we can't go back in time. We can't go back to those bare bone days, and we do not. And it's like all monsters all the time. Not all monsters all the time. There is a little bit at the beginning, but like it's all monsters getting their heads squished in a myriad of ways all the time. They're like, we're gonna do bright red neon blood, and that's gonna be our thing this time. And hey, I respect that. I liked the neon paint blood. It was exciting to see, and there was so much of it. But it was just hard because I feel like it's a way less nuanced story in that way. But it does have some hilarious parts to it. So for me, it was a comedy.
A tragic
that's it.
comedy.
A
Yeah.
tragic comedy, yeah.
Shakespeare would love this, actually.
Actually, yes.
Like, Shakespeare would like this. It's basically modern Shakespeare, then.
Mhm.
Oh my
Mhm.
god.
I think.
A lot of people are saying that in this
Yeah.
room right now, and I'm not one of them, to be
Listen,
clear.
I'm hearing that word on the street is.
Everybody's
the
talking about
word-
it.
The word in this Zoom chat is
Yeah, I mean, here is the thing for me with the Descent one is the creatures are like gross, but they weren't scary to me, and they were so like at some point that something like was silly about them to me, and it like made me like check out of the like scare factor for the rest of the movie. And so it's like I just don't care. I don't care about the creatures, which is such a big draw of the Descent. And so it's just like not my bag. My bag is the Sarah Juno drama, which is like the backbone of the whole first movie. But it doesn't get enough time on the page for me. But don't worry, it gets even more time on the page in the second one. And so it's like they were giving me what I wanted specifically. And the monsters are like not as good, obviously, but the fact that they're sillier is again more aligned with like my vibes sort of for the film. So I was like, okay, not a problem. And then there's like a little search and rescue throuple, so like love that. And there's just more like the first one, I think one thing that people like about it and that you Monica talked about liking on it and on the episode was that it is so like chaotic and you don't kind of know what's going on because it's like they're in the dark, blah 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 blah. Like that's kind of the point. But for me,
sensory
it made it
deprivation,
hard
yeah.
to like engage and like care about a character if I can't even tell which character is getting killed in the moment until afterwards. And in this one, you can tell a lot more of what is going on and who things are happening to. And
But
so
I
I'm
don't
like,
care about a
I
single
know.
fucking one of them.
Well, that's really weird that you don't care about the throuple because they're pioneering queer culture. But That's fine.
I'm excited to learn to care.
Yeah, well, okay. Okay. What I also just love about The Descent too is I think so many horror sequels are trying to do like a totally new thing. Again, some people don't like The Descent too because they're like, same thing again, but not as good. What I think it's so interesting to do like the post-mortem walkthrough of like the scene of the crime, if you will. And to see all of their bodies like left there, like especially like the one that's still hanging there, like that, seeing all of that stuff is so cool. Like I am obsessed with that.
It's like you're in a Halloween Horror Nights maze.
The
Yeah.
hanging body over the like the cavern or the like whatever you call it
Cavern,
is
I think.
maybe the most like iconic,
Slay.
rememberable part of this movie.
Yeah, I think that shit is so cool.
It's diabolical. That's how I got all this blood on my face.
Mm-hmm.
From that part. Nasty business.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I think it's also interesting how they retcon it. And something I was reading about on Reddit is like, as you might recall from our episode or from actually living your life, or you don't know yet because a lot of people don't know about the alternate ending of the first one if they haven't lived
Depending
in the
on where in the
UK.
world you live.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in the UK, at the end of the Descent one, Sarah, our girl, gets out. She's free. She's free. And then it is revealed that it was all a dream and she's actually about to be eaten by all the crawlers. It's incredibly bleak. I fucking love it. I think it rocks. And then if you're in the US, sweet little babies here in the US, we can't handle that type of bleak
Too
shit.
sad.
Too sad, too scary. And in that version, she gets out. Same thing. She runs. Oh my god, she finds her car immediately. That is crazy. She has her keys after all of that. She gets in her car. She starts driving away. Then a Puckwood truck blasts by, honking its horn. It scares her. She throws up. And then Juno.
And then she
And
sees
then
the
Juno's
ghost of
ghost.
Juno. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she sees the ghost of Juno, which is cheap. But I was
And
mostly
there's, like-
thinking about the Puckwood truck, which I didn't
Yeah.
remember.
Well,
I was
because
like,
that plus the pipes in the beginning with the accident with her husband and daughter, it's like double giving Final Destination.
yeah, totally. So it ends like that. Either way, they don't what?
It has, after she sees the ghost of Juno, there's like a close-up shot on her eyes that's like all bloody. And some people interpret that as like it could be like she opens her eyes and none of that was real. But it's one of those things where it's like they don't explicitly get into it the same way that the UK ending gets into it. And it's just like it all got muddled. And the original director is such like we talked about this on the original episode, but he's so like the movie is whatever you want it to be, and whatever your theories are can be what the movie is, which is like,
Yeah,
okay.
Have a vision.
Yeah. He actually seems to be partial to the vision or the theory that is like none of this really happened and she was going crazy down there and killing all of her friends, which I hate personally as a theory of the film.
I hate that too.
Hate that.
There's
That's
so many
fun.
ways that people can fucking die down there. He can go sit in a little basket with the fucking bitch ass
You guys are
cop from
frozen
this
for
movie.
me.
Oh,
There we
I'm
go.
not.
Okay, sorry.
Are you
It's
good?
it's got to be my internet.
Yeah.
but
We all.
I see you guys now.
Stayed fine, and
Oh,
everything
cool.
else is fine. Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
Um.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I hate it's that theory to me is just so like, and all of the Rugrats characters are secretly dead, and it's just like, all right.
I hate that.
You're just
I
like,
hate that shit.
is there space in the film for that? I guess maybe, but like if that is meant to be the reading of the film, I think you need to do a lot more heavy lifting to really like I don't know. There's like her descent into madness, which is like sure. But I think if that's supposed to be the takeaway, it was not successfully filmed. But
Yeah,
can,
okay, I guess.
whatever.
Whatever. The descent into madness. I like when you say those words together like that, but I don't want to think about that anymore because I don't like that as being what it is.
It also just
Um,
like lets Juno off the hook for everything if Sarah's just going crazy and killing bitches.
exactly. And you know me, certified #1 Juno hater. I can't let her off the hook, not even for a second. No, everyone can make mistakes, but she makes a sure of a fuck ton lot of them. Oh my god,
This is my
girl.
note about Juno. She is responsible for everything, but if she weren't such a repressed lesbian, then it would have been fine. So
The
I
real
think,
villain is internalized homophobia.
yeah.
And yeah,
I don't even think
Tom
she's like
Pet.
not aware that she's gay. I think it's just that she can't deal with her feelings for Sarah specifically.
Yeah.
And everyone in this movie and this franchise is just a casualty to Juno's messy queer drama, which I
Yeah.
love personally. That's what I like.
And literally the first person who fucking dies is her like girlfriend that it's not actually her girlfriend, but her girlfriend that she tried to like get over Sarah with. And I think that that's funny. The Holly, I forgot about that. I forgot about that until rewatching it today. I get it. Okay, whatever. They couldn't do the same movie twice, but they sure did try. And I just the way that the beginning is too is also like a retcon in and of itself because then like her car's gone. She's running in the street and she's smashing into the old man's car on the street. And I was like, I actually just watched The Descent, so I know that she was in her really cool Bronco. What happened?
Well, I
How'd
think
it go?
I can't remember where I read this. I don't know if it was IMDb trivia or one of the interviews I looked at or just something else online, but I think I saw that there was a scene originally that was sort of retconning the UK version actually that showed her like after she's like crawling towards the birthday candle, her daughter, blah blah blah, whatever, she like falls into a lake
Oh, I
and she
forgot
gets like
about that.
washed out. And that's why in this movie it's like the dogs when they're like following her scent are like sniffing around a lake. And she says at one point, I got washed out the last time or the first time or whatever. Um and so it was like there was more setup that was going to like explicitly be like, and here's how one connects to the other. And then I guess it's just like whatever, we're retconning it anyway, and it just doesn't need to be like that serious. She finds somebody as she's running through the woods. That's enough.
Close
Okay.
enough. I found a man.
Okay.
All we really need to do
Alright.
is get her in the hospital and then get her back in those caves. Because, and I think this is what's interesting too, is like the setup for this movie. First of all, again, Juno important, Juno Slay. Her dad is like a senator or something. I don't know.
They
She's
only
like,
care
yeah,
about Juno
they
because
they
she's
literally
the
only care about
senator's daughter.
Juno.
They literally say the senator's daughter Juno and her 5 friends are
Friends.
missing. I was like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
And then they find Sarah, and then they're like, but where's Juno? Because I'm not going to be the one to tell the senator that his daughter's not here.
Right.
So we got to get back in those caves and find Juno. But yeah, she's like the celebrity, if you will. And so kind of like the theory of the first one, they come in with this guy Vrains, whatever, the chief of police or whatever,
Vaines,
who's
yeah.
like, did you kill all of your friends? We got to go back in those caves and figure it out. Which is
Okay, like
what it is.
it's just like so hard for me to get even into the beginning of this movie because they're like, this woman just went through a horrible trauma and we're gonna make her do it again immediately right now. We're gonna put this civilian in harm's way right now. Like I feel
She's
like
a suspect, Monica.
But that's the thing too. If they think she did it, they're like, let's take her.
Let's let her
back
contaminate
there.
the crime scene.
it literally makes no sense in any regard. I was just like, what? I forgot this was the whole thing.
Oh,
And
you have
she has
amnesia? Get back in
amnesia?
there, bitch. Yeah. Oh, if you have
Like,
amnesia,
oh, you have
let's see
brain
if we can't
damage?
jog your memory.
Dude, I like
Yeah, apparently Rios, the cop who's sort of paired up with her, the lady cop, was originally supposed to be like a psychologist of some kind or like a counselor of some kind. And then they were like, what? Does that make sense? And I think it's better that she's
No.
a police officer. But
They're
can you
trying to
imagine?
make it okay.
Yeah.
They dragged this poor traumatized
Don't
woman
worry,
under
we
the
brought a
ground.
therapist.
Don't worry. You can talk about how does it make you feel being inside of this tiny little cavern? How does it make you
Like-
feel seeing your friend's bloody corpse?
I think that this is the right way to get to the bottom of this case.
I did get fucking OG director pilled for a second there because I was like, oh, like, is she faking it? Is she actually remember and she's like trying to like just kill them all?
Mm.
And then I was like, no,
No.
no. She only remembers when they play the videotape, I think, when like the rest of the crew like finds the videotape and she's hiding. Like I think she has a flash of memory with when they're in the tiny little hole, the little not hole, tunnel. God, I gotta remember words about spelunking. This is so hard. I haven't used spelunking words in so long. And she like remembers about the beasties, the crawlers, and then she like kicks the cop in the face, which is so important and it should be done all the time. And then she runs away. So I think she like has like a memory there of the foe, but then it seems like she's like it's all coming back to her as she hears her friends' voices playing out loud on that videotape. I don't know. It's hard for me to pin down, but that's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, I think she starts to remember earlier than that when they find that first friend's body, and the rat
Oh,
crawls
yeah.
out of its mouth. Because I
Fuck,
think
that was
that's the
fucked
scene
up.
where she
Mhm.
says like there was something hunting us or whatever it is. Oh, she says, I think we were down here. We were attacked. We shouldn't stay here. And those are like the first words that she says in the cave, I think. I think she was like silent up until that point. She
So they're
went
bringing a fucking
nonverbal.
mute woman filled with to the brim with trauma.
That's effective police work because
So
let's also not forget
Like,
that like a year ago there was also like missing people and so
yeah.
the police are under pressure, Monica, and
Which is
Juno's
kind of
a
Silent Hill.
senator's daughter.
it is Silent Hill. Oh my god. The Silent
The
Hill
trauma
vibes.
of the previous failed rescue means the pressure is on for this rescue, means I will go to insane lengths, including forcing this victim slash suspect down into the cave.
It makes a lot of sense actually now that we've said it 5 times. Now it makes sense.
Oh, okay,
we're
now I
making
get
One more
it.
time.
Yeah.
They took the mute, traumatized woman down into the spelunking caves to find the corpses of her dead friends.
How else would they know
Now it
which
makes
tunnel
sense.
to go through? It's like you're not even thinking about it.
It's just, I know. Ugh.
They
Okay,
couldn't
cut-
bring the dogs into the caves. That wouldn't work.
Well, the dogs wouldn't go in the caves because the dogs are smart. They went down
That's
there
true.
for 5 seconds and they
And
were
they like
that
hightailed it the
fucking
fuck
sucks.
out. Yeah.
Dogs are smart. Dogs can smell cancer. They know all types
Yeah.
of things.
They
Yeah.
know when there are creatures and when not to even bother with those creatures.
This is a non sequitur. We're talking about the creatures real quick. Another thing that I think maybe pissed me off on the rewatch. I was like, do they not have the sense of like touch? Because there's one point where it's like literally has its
Yeah.
hand on Sarah's fucking head, and
Yeah.
it's
Can't
still
tell it's
not
not a
like,
rock.
huh? What is that?
Huh,
It's
that's
literally-
not normal.
Yeah.
And like, can it not feel temperature? Like one time it's crawling over the 2 sisters, and its body is like right over the 2 sisters. And it's like la 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 la. There's nothing here. Like it has no idea. Like
Yeah.
they're just a little bit too dumb. Like I get why they're blind, and I thought that was a
Mhm.
cool and understandable touch. But like when you're blind, all the rest of your senses get more heightened.
Especially over evolutionary eons or
Yes.
whatever they're implying.
Look at the sharks in 47 meters down on King.
Look at
Yeah.
the shark mouths in this movie on these creatures.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But like the sharks in 47 meters down uncaged, and the creatures in this franchise, literally the same.
They're the exact same.
Literally
Exact
same.
That part when Kath like is trapped, that is the scariest part for me, like, and my favorite part of this movie because it recaptures some of that original like no frills fear of the OG movie. Like, Kath gets separated from everyone else. I'm saying the right name, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Kath gets separated from
Kath.
everyone. There are literally so many bitches' names that I've learned in the last
Yeah.
fucking Becca, Beth, Jesus Christ, Kath. Beautiful, love Kath so much. She gets separated from everyone else when the cave collapse after dumb bitch shoots off his gun. We'll get there. And she's like trapped in there and like encased in all these rocks, and everyone is like, not everyone, but Dan is like determined to get to her, but he realizes he can't and has to tell her that he can't, and he's gonna have to like go away for a while and find another way to get her. That fear in that moment was so good. But later on, when she's in there and she's like looking through the little cracks, and then like, whoo, there goes the crawler. Whoo, there goes the crawler again. I was like, this
Now
is
he's
like a
digging
shark.
her out.
This is like a shark passing. This is like like that's like how they move, where they like move really quickly past you, and you're like, holy fuck, what was that? Like, it felt so shark movie in that moment. So funny. I
Yeah.
love a shark movie. Chelsea loves a shark movie.
I kind of do.
You really do. It's not a kind of thing.
Well, usually they're bad. You know what I mean? So it's like usually they're not really giving what I want them to be giving, which is, it's fine if it's a background movie, but it's disappointing if that's the movie you've chosen to give your attention to.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I think that was like one of my favorite parts about this movie as well, and I think was also emblematic of like what I wanted in the first one that I didn't feel that I was getting, which was like these more, not prolonged, but like these moments
Personal.
where they really get to sit with like the humanity of the characters and their relationships, because everything was just like moving so fast in the first movie, and they like jumped from moment to moment so quickly, and it was so rare that they like really like sat in the emotion for longer than a second. And so I loved when they got to do that with scenes like that one, even though it's like, who do we care about these people? Maybe most people don't, but again, to me they're a throuple, so I do. And also that's Josh Dallas from Once Upon a Time, and I feel like I was thinking about it recently because we did The Ugly Stepsister, and I, like I was saying on that episode, I like a fairy tale retelling. So I was like, that's fun. And again, they're all vibing with each other, and that woman is giving an incredible performance. This is like her debut film, but she's killing it.
Yeah, Anna Skellern. Oh, Skellern is a cool last name. It's evocative of skeleton.
But yeah, I had beef with the creatures. They're called crawlers, I guess. The crawlers in the first one, because it's like they're blind, and somehow that means that they like don't perceive anything other than shouting. But they're like they go by hearing, but it's like they can't hear heavy breathing right next to them. They seem to have like no meaningful sense of touch or smell. They just like, it doesn't really make that much sense. And then they're like, oh, by the way, one of them is a girl, and it's like,
right,
okay,
it has long
hair.
I fucking forgot about that. I thought I deleted that from my mind. I deleted that it had like dreadlocks.
It's like, it pisses me off. Like, if they've evolutionarily evolved to be hairless because that's better for their environment, how come this girl one has long stringy hair? Like, why did she need to? You could have told me any of these were girls, and this is what they've all evolved
Just
to look
give her
like.
tits, and
but
then
they're
we
like, no, we
It's
need to
already
show that
rated
there's
R.
a mom and a baby to show how they've been continuing to breed all of these years. And it's like, you didn't need to give me that. I didn't care. And then this movie is like, oh, I think you guys wanted more details about how the crawlers live. So here's their bathroom, by the way.
That was so funny.
Here's where they shit. Just if you were wondering.
The disrespect, I felt disrespected as a viewer during that moment. I was like, are you kidding me? You're putting them after The Descent, which is a multifaceted horror film. Now you're giving me toilet horror, toilet humor, and
The
toilet
shit
horror.
pit. They put them in the shit pit.
They put him in the shit pit. I was taken aback. Anyway, I did laugh out loud.
Right, like, it's to me,
ass.
It's like funny. I love it. I think it's hilarious. It is completely disrespectful, but that's kind of what I love. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, you wanted to know what their society looks like down here? Well, here's the shit pit.
I was like, come on. And then I was like, okay, all right. I mean, I love a shit joke. I literally send texts in my poop group chat
Yeah.
all day, every day. So
And they're like swimming around in it, like picking it up in their hands. It's on their face. They're like, what is this? Immediately, it's like ass over the ledge, shitting. I think it's a perfect scene, frankly. But
Emma.
yeah. I don't know. Like I said, the draw for me, I'm not pretending this is a good movie. I never would. But it's giving me exactly what I want, which is the Juno and Sarah stuff. And like to me, it's so present in the first film, and like they pretend that it's about this affair, but to me, it's so much more than that. And I think it is like just a more interesting reading for one, but I also think it's like just it's there in the thing, but people are divided on that. I tried to look up if there was like much discourse about The Descent being a queer film online, and there's like some chatter, and you can find like some Reddit threads and stuff like that. And
I heard there was like a whole like 2 hour plus long podcast episode about it. I don't know.
The horror queers one.
No, I was talking about us.
Oops.
No, ours.
No, ours.
No. Oh, that one sounds really good.
Yeah, it was like really good and smart and well researched.
Yeah. But you know, I didn't like fully lay out my theory about everything as much in that episode. I think because I was I so taken aback that anybody would come in so hot against Juno. But it, you know, it makes sense. But I don't know. This is one of the things that I always think about. I don't know if you guys remember this. I really tried to chase down this screenshot. I went to the ends of the earth trying to get my phone to load this screenshot on my phone from 2 years ago, but it wouldn't in our texts. But when I was doing social for The Descent, I did one post about the movie that said it was like this scene when Juno and Sarah are facing off. It's like the scene where she's confronting her about Beth and Beth dying. And it's like, oh, did you see her die? Because as we all recall, Juno got startled in after fighting off a bunch of the crawlers, and Beth came up behind her and she just like pickaxed her in the neck. But then instead of being a nice friend, instead of being a nice friend and staying with her when Beth is like, don't leave me alone, she just like wanders off in a haze. And then later is like, no, she definitely died. And Sarah's like, well, that's interesting because I talked to her. And she says that you left her for dead, and also that you're fucking my husband, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
She used her last breath to reveal Juno's treachery.
Yeah.
Honestly,
again, Sarah Beth, one of the most important other relationships in the first film. And I think that's part of the Juno drama.
I think that they do also flesh out, they give you the moment that you're looking for between Sarah and Beth, like when there's before the crawlers even show up, that first time that Sarah gets stuck in the tunnel. And they have to like talk through it to get her out of there before the whole tunnel collapses. That gives you what you're looking for. But once the crawlers come into the picture, it's a fucking
it's just like all crawler all the time.
Yeah.
But there's that scene where they're talking about Beth, and then there's the scene a little bit later where it's Sarah's turn to pickaxe Juno in the leg. And I posted the screenshots from both of those of them looking at each other, and I said, IDK, you can't tell me none of this tension was sexual. Like, just look at the naked yearning in Juno's gaze. And by the way, on Tumblr alone, that post has 99 likes, which is agrees, and 35 people have said, like, that's so true. One person said, why would you say something so brave, true, and hot? Yep. And then another person said, I was thinking the exact same thing. And then another person was like, there's fic about them on AO3, which is true, because I also went looking for it after we watched The Descent.
Of course. It would be a disservice to lesbian kind if there wasn't.
But I posted this on Twitter and I tagged both actresses who were in the movie. And the actress who plays Sarah, Shauna McDonald, she has deleted her Twitter now. So again, I don't know exactly what her tweet said. I only remember my impression of it. But I said, you can't tell me none of this tension was sexual. And she responded basically being like, no, it wasn't. And I think about it all of the time, being like, they're gay. And she's like, no, they're not. And I was like,
You're
maybe
not ready
not
for
Sarah,
that
but, like,
conversation, Sarah.
yeah, I literally responded to her, and I said maybe not for Sarah, but looking at Juno. But I don't think she responded to that either. I don't recall. Maybe she liked it. But that's like my favorite celebrity interaction. Because we love to make things gayer, and it's so hilarious to me that she saw it and was like, "No, veto.
No,
That's not correct." And it's like, girl, I hadn't maybe no, actually I had watched the second one by the time I made that tweet. But it's like, you can't watch the second movie and not tell me that there's fraught interpersonal tension here, which is the heart of the film, and that even after pickaxing her in the first movie, she's like, "And I'll stay by your side" in the second movie. Like,
pickaxing her and also finding out that she was fucking her husband. Like, yeah, girl, you're gone. I'm gone.
The drama is dramaing, and it is rife. But I'll go through some of my Juno and Sarah notes from the first movie just to, again, fully paint things out. Because to me, it's like, this is the draw. Actually, do you know the term toxic yuri?
No.
Yuri, do you know yaoi? These are like anime manga terms, but that's
I've
like
heard
when
both of these terms before, but I've never known what the fuck was going on.
Yeah. Yaoi is two boys and Yuri is two girls. And toxic Yuri is an established trope of just like toxic sapphic relationships, like even Villanelle from Killing Eve, or like what I was kind of referencing earlier, Alicent and Rhaenyra in House of the Dragon. And there is some in another thing that I've talked about recently, but it's like a big spoiler sort of, so I won't say what it was, but that was why I loved that thing so much. And that's why I like this. It's like the toxic Yuri of it all is like so delectable to me. Because everything Juno is doing in the first one is like about and for Sarah. And it's like, what if the worst thing that you ever did is to the person that you loved the most? And like, how do you cope with that? And like, can you cope with that? And like, how do you move forward with that? And what if that also keeps happening to you? And you keep making the biggest mistakes of your life and hurting the people that you care about the most. And it's so interesting from an interpersonal drama level, because both the setup of that movie, I had an affair with my friend's husband, and not that she was driving the car, Paul, the husband, was driving the car, but because of that affair, in some way, it's a straight line from the affair to the death of Sarah's husband and child. Because Paul was distracted in the car thinking about how he had just unbuckled Juno's helmet for her or whatever. I don't know. And so
and Sarah had literally been like, "What's up with you?
Is something going on with you? You good?
Up?" Yeah. And then
yeah,
he's like, "No, there's nothing up." Smash his car.
Yeah. He immediately just kills himself so that he doesn't have to answer the question, which is classic man cheating on his wife. And so it's like, that is the first tragedy. And then it's like, how not only did she unintentionally cause the death of Sarah's husband and daughter, but then also she bailed on her after that, because it's like the complicated feelings of like, can I be there for her while I'm experiencing extreme guilt? Can I be there for her while not like giving away all of the other horrible things that I've done, and how this connects to the tragedy that you're going through? Like, she had to dip because I think her brain would explode if she stayed. So she had to go, but now it's like she has to make up for the fact that she wasn't there for her at all after all of this tragedy either. And she comes up with this stupid ass, bitch ass, dumb ass plan.
Literally the stupidest, worst plan of all time, maybe.
Yeah,
But,
and
well, tied with what's his name from Paranormal Activity.
yeah, that guy is the like biggest Mika. Mika is
Mika!
the biggest dumb bitch of the
Bitch.
whole franchise. But this one is like truly so dumb, but also done out of love because she's like, what is the best, biggest, grand gesture that I can give to Sarah to show her that I care about her or to have us connected in some way, even if she does eventually like find out about my wrongs and my sins against her, is like, if I take her through this new cave system that's never been
She
explored.
loves cave systems.
She loves cave systems, and it'll be named after her. And it's like I'm giving this big present to her, and she didn't even think to scope it out beforehand. But then it wouldn't be an authentic Sarah discovery. So it's like they have to just do it for the first time. Like it's so dumb. It's so dumb.
It's
Um,
so dumb.
but this is like her big gesture to reach out, and it goes so wrong. It goes so horribly wrong, but it's so interesting to me the way that like it really seems like Juno is out for herself a lot of the time, but actually so much of what she's doing is related to Sarah and about Sarah. And then when they all get like separated because of the crawlers, blah blah blah, and then the sisters and Juno bump into each other again, and the sisters are like, "Let's get the fuck out of here." And Juno is like, "Sarah, I'm not leaving without Sarah." They're like, "What are you waiting for?" And she's like, "Literally, Sarah." Um, and then again, Beth's dying moments with Sarah are also about like Juno and Paul and who stay. My notes are who stays and who leaves and who comforts and ends suffering and who disappears in the face of it. Because that moment is also about Sarah having to smash Beth's head in with a rock. Because she's just slowly, painfully dying otherwise. And like Juno walks away from it because she doesn't know how to cope, and Sarah is the one who like stays and takes care of things. Um, but the way that I think it's like the three of them, Paul is literally doesn't matter by the way. Literally was like a placeholder for Sarah for Juno, in my opinion. The real love story that's getting in the way of Sarah and Juno is Sarah and Beth, because Beth is the one that's there for her and that takes care of her and is always looking out for her and helps her through that like when they're in the collapsing tunnel and she's stuck. And I think Sarah could not see Juno's yearning with Beth around because it's like Sarah and Beth are like this, and then Juno's over here pining. And it just is like so involved. And she says at one point, I'm not leaving without Sarah, which is to say, I don't want to live without Sarah. And if Sarah is dying down here, then so am I. And also, I mean, you can get into it a little because when they reunite in this movie, it's like Juno does kind of attack her like a little bit and they like wrestle a little bit. But she doesn't really do anything when Sarah pickaxes her and like leaves her for death. She just like kind of stays there to try and face down the crawlers. And to me, it did seem very like, and I would let you pickaxe me and then die trying to protect you so that you could get out if that put even like a dent in the price of your forgiveness. Like she just,
Yeah, it felt like a sacrifice.
yeah, her guilt is just like so unbearable that she doesn't know what to do with it, and it makes her make all of these like horrible mistakes and wrong decisions. And to me, again, it's just like she is a dumb bitch, but she loves Sarah so much and is like just doesn't know what to do with that or like how to be healthy about it. And so I was like kind of butthurt about Sarah pickaxing her and being like, bye, bitch. And I was like, is that deserved that she kills her? Because again, complicated. She just like, she fucked her husband on purpose.
I don't think we're talking
blah,
about
blah,
the
blah.
daughter enough, too. She's also
Yeah.
lost her daughter due to this situation.
Right.
And an innocent child was killed, you know?
Yeah.
Not that it's like Juno killed the baby, but and we
Right.
already went through.
No, I totally agree. But I had complicated feelings about it. And then I like it more in the context of the second one where Juno doesn't die. And it's like, okay, Yeah, it put me in that same scenario. I think I do it again, but now that it's already happened once and I've already done it once, I don't need to do it a second time. And I don't, in that moment, I wanted to hurt you and I wanted you to get out and I was willing to sacrifice you to do that. But now that that has happened, we're kind of like back on a more level playing field. And we can like engage with each other again. Like to me, it was like, yeah, you did have to stab her queen, but now there's room for something else after that.
Well, yeah, I think it is sweet though ridiculously heavy-handed and strange in this movie where like you know exactly what you're saying. They're like, okay, we've both hurt each other. We've both mortally wounded each other. And now we're the only ones left and we still love each other even though we've ruined each other's lives. So we might as well like try to try, if it's the last person left of like your whole life is this person, you're gonna try to hold on to them. But I think it's more than that too. I think they also like, I don't know, can realize the faults in both of they're meeting on an even playing field. Exactly what you're saying. It reminds me of an incredible song by Katie Gavin called Keep Walking, which is about not like playing the villain or the victim, seeing both sides of the coin when you've had conflict and are no longer friends with someone. It's an incredible song. It helped me learn a lot of things. So that we should do a video with the clip from this with that song. Oh my
Okay.
God. But the lyrics are like, what a relief to realize like you're not the villain. Like, oh, what a relief to realize part of this was my fault. You're not the villain after all. I'm at peace with you. That sort of a thing. So anyway, it'll be a beautiful video. But anyway, I think that that's like a cool part of this movie. It's hard to like zone in on that for me because there's so much stupid fucking shit happening that's ridiculous. But like there's literally so much absolute like so many crawler heads squishing and not enough
Yeah.
brains coming out. Not enough brains coming out. But
Have you even considered that their brains evolved to be puny and their heads are just full of red blood?
that's why they can't feel anything. Because
That's why their
they have
senses are not good.
because their brains are the size of a
walnuts.
quarter. Yeah, exactly.
That's not like they need to be doing engineering down there. They don't need to have our big human brains.
Yeah, but I do think, it makes sense for them to have this like coming together and them fighting for each other's lives now after everything. Because Juno was always doing that, but Sarah had every right
Yeah.
to stab her. Maybe not, we don't kill people or leave them to die.
Yeah.
But like, she couldn't be like, oh my God, you fucking left Beth to die, you cunt. She did that to her now. So, and she
Right.
literally used the same pickaxe to do it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I
Anyway.
just like it hurt my feelings that that was like the last note on their relationship in the first one when I felt like there was so much juicy stuff there to explore and it just being like one note in their relationship and in the context of the second one it's like okay now I love it because again she did what she had to do and fair is fair and again now it just feels more like they can meaningfully meet in the middle to some degree. But
Mhm.
one thing I will say for the sequel that is good is the first one. Obviously, like the daughter is a big part of the emotional stuff of it. And they kind of do a little bit of that with the hallucinations. But one of my disappointments in the first one was that they didn't do more with the hallucinations after like introducing that, especially if you don't have the UK ending. And
Mhm.
to lose that entirely, it just kind of like I think you lose that thread in the movie. And I think The Descent 2 does a good job of bringing that particular trauma back into the forefront by having her have the moment in the hospital where she's like looking for Jesse again. She wants Jesse again. And by also introducing the character of Rios, who is the police officer who is also a mom and who has a daughter out in the world
Mhm.
and like having that compare and contrast where Sarah is like forced into proximity with it and has
Mhm.
to navigate that and like however it makes her feel, and how Rios feels knowing that Sarah lost her daughter. And I think that really like enriches the end when she does decide to die by Juno's side, for the record. Just like, oh, Juno's dead, I guess I have nothing to live for. I'm just gonna die here with her. And also like I'm going
that's
to
like very apparent. She
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
gives up.
yeah.
She straight up gives up.
But it's also like, again, not to get into the end, but whatever. Who cares? This is the descent too. It's like I want to make sure I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure that that daughter has a mom coming home to her if I
Yeah.
can. And so
My
to me,
daughter
that's
couldn't
like
come home to me, but that daughter is gonna have her mom come home. Makes
right.
sense.
Yeah,
And
it's
she
I don't
also
know.
like has sorry, this is so dark, but like her entire every person she has ever known, maybe besides her parents, has been like obliterated at this point. So she's like, I'm gonna put this woman before me because she has something to go home to when I don't, which is pretty bleak, but you know, very nice of her.
Yeah, I mean, I just it's to me to bring that theme. I thought that was a really strong way to like keep that part of the story present when maybe doing a lot of the hallucination stuff in the cave would feel again like they were just rehashing the same territory from the first movie, even if that was like a little bit of a lost potential area. They do have one moment here where it's like she's going back into the cave and we hear like the whisper of like mummy from the tunnel.
Yeah.
But that's like the only time that we get it, other than the stuff with Rios. So I thought that that was like a nice way to circle around on that.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact about Rios. The cell phone that she is using didn't come out until 2007. And this movie is supposed to take place in 2005. So
Whoa. Yeah, because the movie
Wow.
came out in like
Yeah.
2009.
Yeah.
But they're like 2 days later.
It's
What I saw in an
ridiculous.
interview that blew my mind is that Shauna McDonald, the actress who plays Sarah, was 23 when she was filming the first movie. And I was like, what? That's crazy.
Oh my god, she was just a baby.
She looks like a little baby bean.
And they're like, she has a 6-year-old daughter. And it's like, okay, I
Oh,
mean, you
God.
know, whatever. But clearly they just are doing the Hollywood thing of like, everyone is played by a 23-year-old and it doesn't matter how old the character
How old
actually
you are.
is. Yeah. But I thought that that was wild to notice.
Something I just want to say, I know that I said this on the last one, but Alex Reed, who played Beth in the first one and briefly in this one too, because they did a flashback, so she's on the IMDb. Don't forget that she was in the incredible show that everyone should watch the first 2 seasons only of. I can't speak to the rest of them. Misfits. And it's on Disney Plus. I just found out it's on Disney Plus. I was looking at her face and I was like, one, she's the one who looks just like my friend Kendall. She looks exactly like her. It's crazy. And then two, I was on her IMDb and I was like, oh, that still of her is giving me deep emotions in my belly. That's because Misfits is like my soul show. And then it got really bad, but those first 2 seasons,
Yeah, the
woohoo!
first couple seasons are so good.
Oh, so good. People don't talk about it enough. Robert Sheehan King. Anyway, that's my
Oh, she was
sidebar.
the worker at
Yeah.
the. Okay, I was like, who is
Yeah.
she?
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny that you bring up Misfits. Not that I'm about to talk about Misfits, but in terms of people who have superpowers, one of my first notes for this movie was if only they had Zack Attack from Sky High to glow and help light the way in the tunnel.
Wow. See, he could be so helpful. That's not sidekick
Exactly.
behavior. That's hero behavior.
If only they had
Yep.
Magenta to transform into
Hero
a guinea pig
support,
and crawl
Monica.
through small spaces. And if only they had Warren to throw torches and light the way, and Layla to grow plants down through the holes and guide their way out. The Sky High crew really could have come in handy here.
Will could
Yeah,
fly.
damn.
Think about
Alas.
that.
Yeah, I mean, that
then-
helps a little
he
bit,
could
but
just-
still, if you don't know where to go, I
Yeah,
think
but
Layla is going to be more helpful.
He could fly over the cave, like the big.
That's true.
whole
Oh,
He
cave.
could
flies
fly
over the
each of them
hole.
over with his
Yeah.
super strength and his flying.
He could have held all of them at once because he's super
Mhm.
strong. Honestly, if he's super strong, he probably could have just like punched his way through the rock and got out. Be like, we're just
Oh,
gonna
there's a
And then
tunnel
everybody
collapse.
else
I'm just
dies.
gonna pulverize each of these rocks.
I'm gonna turn it to smithereens. We solved it. It's the collaboration that everyone's been waiting for. The descent to X Sky High.
The perfect Chelsea movie.
Wow.
An incredible crossover. But I did think
Okay.
that was one thing that I liked in this movie too, is that like they have the tunnel collapse. I think again that's a really great strong scene, but they do like that one moment in the first one where she's like stuck in the tunnel. Um and then the rest of it is the horror is primarily crawler adjacent, other than that when Holly like runs and falls and compound fractures her leg.
No, oh my God, you're missing like my favorite part also. The part when they have to like climb with just their hands across the
Mm,
cavern and like
Yeah.
to get each other across. That shit is so nerve-wracking to me because
yeah.
they're like screaming in agony because like, oh, I used to climb. That shit hurts so bad even to do like a stupid climbing wall at Hollywood Boulder. So I can't even imagine holding your entire weight in your fingers over an endless cavern. That one really freaked me out on my rewatch. But I see
That's
that's what
true.
I mean. There's like quite a bit of that lead up. It's like halfway through the movie, maybe even a little bit more before the crawlers even show up.
Yeah. But I thought they did a lot of good spelunking stuff in this one too. And I liked the inclusion of the search and rescue people because while obviously some of our crew from the first one are like experienced spelunkers, some of them, like Holly, are not. Like Holly's thing was base jumping. And she's like learning, she's like Juno is her mentor. She's like learning things new over here. What's going on?
Sorry, really, really loud siren. That was like the honky kind all the way, and it got me scared. I got scared.
Oh,
Anyway, keep going.
scary. Um, yeah, I mean, again, that was part of my issue with the first one too, is that they were all like, they're so experienced. But then they see like the tiniest little hole and they're like, this must be it. Let's go right through. And it's like, maybe that is real. Cause again, I don't spelunk, so I don't know. Um, but I like immediately, they lost me a little bit with that one where I was like, why would that be that? You're not even looking at any other parts of the cave. You find one hole and you're immediately like, let's crawl through it. That's the way. And the aspect of the search and rescue here made a lot of sense to me as an entry point, and it brought like an experienced perspective to the cave system, but also explicitly like a lack of familiarity with this one, because their whole thing is not that they're like cave explorers, that they're like looking for people. I don't know, I loved the search and rescue throuple, and I just think that they were great
Now's
too.
your time to talk about the throuple. Go.
Yeah,
Tell
yeah.
me about it.
I think, yeah, okay, here are my notes. In the subtitles at one point, although I didn't hear him say it out loud, but in the subtitles at one point, Dan calls Kathy honey, when she gets like stuck in the rock pile, I think.
He does.
And he says, I promise I won't stop until I get to you. And she says, I know. And then Josh Dallas wants to stay with her. And there's that moment earlier where he like does the fake kissy joke.
Yeah, they're very
And
overtly flirty before they even
yeah.
go down the
Yeah.
hole.
Mm-hmm. And then he says, I ain't gonna run out on you. And she says, you even try and I'll kill you myself, which again is very Juno and Sarah.
Okay, sorry, we can't just run past that one. That was like I just can't quit you. That was some Brokeback Mountain coded shit. That shit was so funny. It was so serious to me because it was just like so like we're building a love story. I won't run out on you. They look into each other's
I
eyes.
ain't
They
gonna
are
run
dead.
out on you. The ain't
They're
is
dead.
crazy there.
The ain't is very Brokeback Mountain. The ain't
Yeah.
really makes it Brokeback Mountain. And I was like, they're not two boys, so I don't care. But like literally they're like a love story is building here. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. Nope, they're fucking dead like in 30
And they're
seconds.
dead.
Like 45 seconds later they are dead.
Yeah.
It's so unserious, so unceremonious. I'm like, what? Anyway, keep going with your
Yeah.
list.
Well, That's the majority of my notes about them being throuple. But it's just like there are so many good moments individually amongst them as pairs, and then also like working as a team of three. And I like that they all have different accents that are implied to be from different places because
Uh-huh.
I feel like they met on the job and then just became a team. And now they just travel the world trying to do good work and rescue people. But I also just thought they had some like good moments in general. Like again, cat scene incredible. I love like Dan on the walkie with her, like talking her through
Mhm,
it. Like it
mhm.
is very it touches my heart.
Mm.
But then Josh Dallas like whipping out the drill for that kill, I thought ruled.
Yeah, that was
Um
great.
that's a great kill and like
Yeah, that was so good.
that's the scene where they have to jump on Becca's body, one of the
I
sisters. I
can't
who can
remember
say
which one.
what their
Yeah.
names are. Um but they have to like jump on her hanging body to try and get across. And then they're still being attacked and then Kat survives all of that on the other side, watching Josh Dallas's throat get ripped out and him drilling the thing, just for her to get ripped to shreds a second later. Like,
Mhm.
Literally immediately.
yeah.
That should
I,
piss me off.
yeah.
Like,
I,
oh, I was just gonna say we didn't even get like a chance to really breathe with her. Like,
yeah.
No, which was like great for like the relentless horror thing, but I found it all to be so silly looking that like it wasn't scaring me at all. Instead, I was just like, let a girl have a moment, please.
Yeah.
I really liked her. Too bad.
That's my thing. I think that I allows me to like the Descent 2 for not being as scary as the Descent 1 is I wasn't scared by that one either. I also found it a little silly. So when I was like, okay, they're kind of like leaning into it more now, I was like, now at least it feels like you're doing this on purpose. And that is more accessible to me than feeling like you're not accomplishing than what you want to be accomplishing. And part of my beef with the first one, I think also is that I went in thinking it was like a girl group movie, which it is, but it's so hard with things like that because it's like it is a horror movie and people have to die obviously, but also you want some remnants of the group to be together at the end if you're going to have like any sort of satisfaction, and it's a bleak ending. Like it's not you're not they're not trying to make you feel satisfied and happy or anything. That's not the kind of movie that it is. But when it's a friend group of girls, that's more what I want, is like the relationships between the girls and for them to have something together, and then for Sarah to walk away alone. I just was like sad. And then and this one,
It's like a
but
2005 horror movie made by
yeah,
men.
yeah.
Like the cards were stacked against those girls. I'm so sorry.
They were never gonna give me what I wanted. But then in the second one again, it's like, well, if they're dying together because they love each other, then that is like the strength of their bond and their love and their relationship, and that's what I wanted. So I'm okay with them, everybody dying. And I don't care that much about the search. I like the search and rescue team insofar as I liked watching them on my screen, but I didn't care if any of them survived. And I didn't care if the sheriff survived. I was glad that he got kicked in the face and
Why did
got
oh
blah blah blah.
oh okay, one thing and then let's talk about the sheriff. Second idea for a video. The Smith song "To Die by Your Side" is the heavenly way to die, with
That's my
them
last
dying
note in
together.
my
No way! Brain blast.
notes. Yeah, that is so present. Um
Mhm.
But yeah, that's another thing that I liked about this movie is that he sucks so bad. And this movie gave us a villain who is worse and to hate more than Juno, which gives my girl Juno a little breathing room, which she
Gave her a
desperately needs.
little
Everyone's on
space.
her throat in the first one, which is deserved and fair. But that guy comes in and takes a little heat off her in the second
Yeah, because
one.
he's such a fucking dumb bitch. One, he brings this poor battered woman into the caves, makes
right?
her spelunk after all of the atrocities. And two, he just like doesn't respect the fucking professional splunkers.
Oh my
He
God,
just
he's such
like
a little bitch.
No.
thinks he's the king everywhere he goes. Classic white man, add the cop into it. My God. And like
A-cab.
ACAB, literally, the, and the fact that he just doesn't believe her from the beginning and immediately is like she killed Juno because he's such a fucking simp for Juno. He is such a
Right.
Juno simp the whole time. He has been sucking that senator's dick for years, apparently, and so
I
he
was
is
gonna
such
say he's
a
probably
simp.
less Juno simp, more her father, the senator, simp.
Yeah.
He is so deep within the senator's pocket. Like, my God, if we're getting into evil political bullshit here, but it's there. It's there. And like the audacity of the cuffing thing is just the most
Oh, yeah.
shocking shit to me. Like, are you kidding me? You need both your hands and both your feet
You're
to
in
do
a cave.
climbing. You are climbing things. You've been climbing things for hours and hours. This will not work. How often have you been in a space where you cannot be side by side with someone? It makes negative 1,000 cents.
And then
go
he
crazy.
immediately slips and falls.
Immediately, she's like, "We can't climb across this cavern together," and he's like, "You can't fool me."
You already kicked me in the face and ran away once. You're not doing it again. And immediately he gets his karmic comeuppance for that, which is that they chop his hand off so that he falls to his death.
That shit was
Good.
so funny. That shit was so good. I was like, his death better be good. I couldn't remember, but that was like, it took like 20 hits to chop
That's
his
what's so
hand
good
off.
about it too. It's not like they just machete chop off his hand. It's like they have to use that pick to like sever it little bit by little bit by little bit.
I
Meanwhile, the
love
whole
that it was.
time Juno is holding Sarah and putting her body on top of Sarah to keep Sarah safe and protected.
I think it's also iconic that it's Rio who has to do it. Literally,
Yeah.
Rios, excuse me. Literally, his partner, like his policing partner, is like, you know what, this guy does suck. So I'm gonna go with my girls now. I feel I'm gonna switch alliances real quick, and I'm gonna go with the people who know what the fuck is going on. The other thing that really bothered me though is that Vanes was like, Juno knows where to go, and we will be following Juno actually. And that is the only thing is that we follow Juno. And yes, she has spelunked a long time before, but she's literally been down in the caverns, Laura Croft Tomb Raidering this shit for 2 days. She's absolutely
I'm
lost her goddamn fucking mind at
She's
this
so
point.
funny. She's going so crazy. Lara Croft Tomb Raider last movie and also so much this movie.
This movie, it's so overt. It's literally insane. I've never seen that movie. I know that it's scene by scene recreation. Like
It's also so
unbelievable.
funny to me because Juno has a ponytail in the first movie and Sarah does not. And then in this movie, Sarah has a ponytail and Juno's hair is down. And it's just like only one of them is allowed to have ponytail. They're sharing custody of ponytail
Yeah.
because they're in a relationship.
They don't want to match. They don't want to be
just-
like lesbians who are twins, you know.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
also too, it's like if I'm wearing gold earrings, like you can't wear gold earrings. That's my thing, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. I had one more thing that I was going to say about Juno. Oh, the acting choices that Natalie Mendoza were making were also just absolutely incredible. She was just like, I am making
She's
a
feral
strong
now.
choice. I am different now. And you can tell
I've been
because I'm
alone
making
for 2
this
days with
face.
no flashlight.
I'm making this angry,
You left me here.
furrowed brow face the
Yeah.
entire time. My brow will not unfurrow. So good. Iconic, actually.
Look, they both
Iconic,
came different
actually.
out of the caves.
I don't blame her for being different. I would be different too.
Yeah. I like that they tussle at first when they're first reunited. Even though it kind of goes against my Juno would do literally anything for Sarah narrative. Because it's like Juno's whole thing, this whole movie has been trying to avoid Sarah's rejection and being afraid of Sarah's rejection and doing anything that she can to stave it off or try and earn some goodwill before the truth comes to the surface. Um, and then she was rejected by Sarah when she got pickaxed and left to die. And so it's like now she is dealing with that a little bit, and there has to be some sort of like repercussions for that in Juno's behavior. But then as soon as Sarah's like, Juno, help me, Juno's like, okay, we're hugging, and I'm telling Rios to cut off that guy's hand. Cut it off or they'll both die. So
It's smart.
I just think and Juno rips the crawler's throat out with her teeth to save Sarah, and then she's like,
That
get
was
out
hot.
of here.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, and she's like, I'm so sorry, I'm sorry. And she's like, it's okay. Like they really committed to the Juno Sarah narrative for the sequel.
No, they really did, and it was
Mhm.
beautiful to see them bury
That
the
was
hatchet
fan service.
or the
That's
pickaxe. in this
exactly what I'm
case.
talking about.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how Shauna McDonald's gonna be like, they're not gay. What are you talking about? Because it's like, girl, did you
Did
see
you
the same
see the
movie that
second
I
movie?
did? Maybe you're so like locked into the idea of platonic female friendship for them, and that's valid. Girls are friends. I have two friends right here on this podcast with me. But also
But
like
there's also a lot of sexual chemistry, and it's really charged.
I
Yeah.
think some people really get stuck on the idea that Paul was an important character to the narrative, the husband, in the
It's
sense
literally
that like
never about him.
it's
Here's the
literally
thing.
never about him.
It was literally more of the betrayal. It's like, you're gonna fuck my husband, just fuck me instead. Like,
yeah, and that's the thing is
betrayal.
I don't think that Sarah like saw Juno that way, at least in the first movie. And again, that's my part with Beth comes in, where it's just like Beth is the one who's like actually good to her. So like Juno kind of a mess. I suspect Juno kind of always a mess. Because they're always like, this is classic Juno, he, ha ha ha. She's just a crazy girl. She's standing up in the whitewater raft and we push her into the water because she's being a crazy girl show off.
She's so crazy.
She's just a crazy girl. And I had questions in the first one where I was like, these two people don't live on the same continent, so how is she having an affair with her husband? And I don't really have answers for that.
She's a senator's daughter, so
she can
has
go where she
money.
wants. Yeah.
She's got diplomatic immunity.
She can go anywhere and fuck anybody. But I think that is why, like, it feels like it's so about Sarah to me. Is like, how can you be having an affair with this man who literally lives a continent away, when the girl is the one that is your friend and that you're going on trips with every now and then, and he's only really there if he's like accompanying. They're in Scotland where she lives in the first one in the beginning in the accident. So it's like that's the only reason those two people, that Paul and Juno, are even in the same place. And so it really feels to me like, I don't know. I have had some like sort of headcanons about it. Like Paul maybe started it because a man who cheats on his wife is terrible. And I just think that they're bad people. And then Juno, however it started, it just like becomes this like manifestation of being with Sarah. Like we've talked about this in other movies where it's like, do I want to be you or be with you? And by fucking your husband, it's a proxy for you. And like, I don't know. That feels so the meat of things there. And then to focus on the like little feather necklace as the reveal. Again, I think some people, again, with like Sarah putting it in her hand, her dying palm in this movie, it makes people think about Paul again, and that it's like a straight thing that's happening, that it's like about this husband, but it's like, I forgive you as my friend. Again, it's like that's all about Sarah. Like I don't know. To me, it's just like take off your straight glasses and see what's right in front of you. You're coming in with the compulsory heteronormative narrative, and I understand where that comes from because that's what society wants us to do. But open your eyes and see how gay this is. This is incredibly gay.
Open your gay eyes.
Open your gay eyes and see what's right in front of you. It's crazy to me. They're so gay for each other.
It's overt. By the second one, it's overt. Okay, I know we've talked about gay things. We've talked about. Sorry, I just started reading out what you texted, and I just started reading it out loud. We've talked about throuples, which is a queer throuple, but I feel like the other part of this story that is so fun is the ridiculously silly scares. So let's talk about those. The opening for the crawlers in this movie is absolutely spectacular. Like the first time like you really see a crawler. There's the little vision that Sarah has where she like when they're in the tunnel and she freaks out. But like when Vanes has the video camera and you know it's coming cuz you've seen The Descent #1 and
And
you
also,
know
there's so many like little movements in the background when he's on screen.
yeah, there's so much
Mhm.
happening. There's so much leading up to that. And then it is just it is a brilliant fake out, but then the way that it looks is the silliest thing I've ever seen in my life. He's like, I'm
Yeah.
not on the camera, baby. I'm right here. It's so good. It's so good.
I
How'd you feel?
love
Yeah.
the one where like she hallucinates and they're like, no, it's actually just a rock. And they're like, it's what do they call it? Like sediment or something. But
Stalactite, something like
it's
that.
like when you're actually looking at it, you're like, no, that's actually just like one of the cast there. Like you can like see the outline of their body. You're like, no.
That's just a
So
juicy,
funny.
drippy stalactite. And it's like, no.
Mm,
That's a guy. Sorry.
that's a
Yeah, they
man.
did. They redid the look of them a little bit in this movie, because apparently they made them like a little darker in skin tone to be more camouflaged with the background as opposed to like stark white, which is kind of their deal in the first one. And he made them look like a little more fucked up, to suggest. Sorry, that was probably an insensitive way to say that. But to suggest that there was more inbreeding amongst them because their numbers are, not insignificant down there, but it is a very closed community.
Hmm.
Um, and to suggest that it's just like that same community repopulating over time. And then he gave them like the weird shark mouths, which they have like multiple rows of teeth. Um, so again, it's kind of
Did they
getting
not
away from
have
the
that
like,
movie before?
I can't say I noticed it one way or another.
Yeah. Everybody's throat's getting ripped out, but
That's their
yeah.
like main move, yeah, which
Yeah.
is like, all
It's a
right.
good move. You can't really come back from that. It's
Yeah.
just you're done. You're fucking done.
And it
You're done.
makes sense in terms of like this is their den, the crawlers, and these are people who are like invading their home, coming into their home, and they're defending it. They're not like hunting for food in these scenes. They are like there's an invader in my home kind of
It's just
thing.
like sharks. You're in
Yeah.
their
Oh, you went into the ocean and you're
house.
mad that a shark is there? That's where they live.
That's where they
That's why
live.
we don't go spelunking.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. I just have no interest in that.
I'm not
I have an
taking the
interest
risk.
in a lot of things that are fucked up and scary to do. I'm getting into free diving, but I certainly won't be going spelunking. I don't need to put my
What is
body into
free
a
diving?
free diving, not free diving.
Oh, I was like, what is free diving?
It's
You
like
don't know
free
about free
diving, but you
diving?
go
I don't know
through
about
the
But
free
it's a little
ocean.
diving.
different. It's a little quirkier and weirder. You
I
know me.
don't know anything about free diving.
It's a little more fringe.
Mm.
Yeah, it's no, but if you don't know, it's when it's like scuba diving, but you don't have a tank. You just hold your breath long time and you go deep down. Not that deep. You can't go that deep.
Because
And you
again,
see
you're
some
holding
fish.
your breath, so
And
you're
you kiss
limited.
some fish and then you leave. And that's what you do. And you wear a really, really silly wetsuit that has a hood and makes you look like a dingus. So that's the frou part of it. That's the quirky girl part of it.
Is it like comes with like fun headwear?
Yeah. Oh, they actually have like themed hats. So there's one that's like a little because it keeps your ears warm and it has little devil horns on it, and they have ones that's like a dinosaur, like a
Cute.
stegosaurus type of thing. Very cute. I'm not that quirky yet. It's early days
Sure.
for me.
You should get
We'll
one
get
with the
there.
beret.
Yeah.
That'd be so hydrodynamic. Oh my god. A beret.
Just like a little
flopping.
beret.
Sorry, I have to look cunty even underneath the sea.
Yeah, I think.
I want the fish to think I'm French, actually, because they have a concept of that. Oh man. What other scares? I mean, again, we touched on it. The blood. The blood was so funny. It was why was it that color? What an interesting choice. It was fluorescent.
It goes in Sarah's mouth so much.
It goes in her mouth so much. It goes
And
in
she's
Kat's
just
mouth
keeping
so
that
much.
mouth wide open. And it's like
Aw.
she's going through a lot. You know, I can't say that everyone would react perfectly and shut their mouth in that scenario. But it really just feels like her mouth is open for way too long. And then she has to collect like little drips from the ceiling of water to like swish her mouth out and spit it out. And it's like there's blood in there, there's poop in there.
You're gonna get an ancient fucking bacteria in your mouth. It's gonna be not good.
The Descent Part 3 is actually a zombie movie.
Ugh.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. I don't need
It's
that.
actually just like I'll always remember what you did last summer.
Oh my god. Terrifying.
And that the second one is a direct sequel, and then in the third one it's a whole new cast and it's a zombie movie.
Perfect. Good.
Jesse,
love
do you want to
that.
talk about the descents, the sharks, and the fall universe?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but I also want to talk about the old guy who you're dressed up as before that.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
like his thing is interesting to me. That's like a whole other bit of lore that's going on in the second one that I don't know that we needed it, but I don't know that I hate
Here's the thing.
it.
I hate it, but it's okay.
As somebody who has stepped into his character.
Oh yeah, please, now that you're in his mind, please explain.
Okay. If it was me, say
Mhm.
that I
It is.
came across one, right? Like a little possum, right? And then I decided to take care of it. And then all of a sudden, I'm taking care of a whole possum colony. That's kind of what he does, basically. But
It's
with
like
the
you
crawlers.
with the cats outside of your old apartment in LA.
The cats, the skunks, and the raccoon family that
yeah.
I all took care of. Yeah. And
Yeah, you just
my landlord Betty kept being like, "Whoever is feeding all these animals, please stop." And I was like,
You
"No,
guys. Yeah.
it's a
this
slippery
is my
slope.
family now.
This
I'm
is why you
responsible."
shouldn't feed feral animals because it's a slippery slope. You start with a little kitten, and then all of a sudden you're feeding nasty crawlers who live below the ground and eat human flesh.
Well, his lore is interesting because again, he's the one that finds Sarah in the beginning, but he's also the one that like is explaining the old mill or whatever it was that they
His
like
dad worked
entered
in the
the cave
mines
system.
and
Yeah,
never
his
came back.
grandfather. His grandfather went
It's
there
his
and
dad.
went down. Oh,
The crawlers are his dad.
oh.
It's
Yeah,
family.
they evolved
That's
really
his
quick. Yeah.
family.
That's
That's
his grandpa.
family.
That's what's interesting to me though, is he says he lost his grandpa to it, and like we see like the old miner gear from the first one. So it's like it's that them, maybe. But now he's like feeding them, and it's almost like he's making these like religious sacrifices to them. And I'm wondering if it's because it is like these are feral cats that he's feeding, or if it's like if I bring food to them, then they don't come out after us, the people who live in this area. Because we know they come above ground to hunt because they have all of the like deer carcasses. Oh, do you want to show your prop? Your bone.
Yeah.
We
I
see
picked
in
it
the
up at
pile of
teeth
bones.
and I almost got hurt.
Oh, beautiful. We see
It's
the
a
pile of
horse
bones
jaw.
in both movies, and we see they're like dragging animals down there. And so they are the crawlers live in the caves, but they come out of those caves. And so I'm wondering if he's being like, if we feed them, they stay contained, but also then why is he like helping Sarah to the hospital or whatever instead of like knocking her out and dragging her back the way that he does to Rios at the end of the movie?
That's the part that doesn't make any fucking sense. Because I understand the argument of why, if he's helping them, why he had to kill Rios, because Rios is part of law enforcement. She'll certainly report it, blah blah blah. But like, if that's it, it literally makes no sense that he didn't do the exact same thing to Sarah when she popped out. And then
maybe
I guess
he didn't maybe
That's
he didn't
true.
realize with Sarah
Where she was coming from.
what had happened, and then
he called the cop directly. I thought.
Yeah,
he
but
knows
like
the cop.
But I guess the argument maybe that Sydney is trying to make is that like he knows that she was exploring the Borum Caverns allegedly, and that she comes out in this other place, so he could make the connection, but he doesn't know why she's covered in blood running through the woods. He just knows that she was a missing spelunker. It's kind of dumb. Whereas like Rios, he knows she went in that cave specifically.
How stupid is he then? Like, I don't know. But then I did have another thought where I was like, okay, why not kill Sarah? Maybe that he doesn't understand the full thing. Or he knows this cop so well, and he knows that he'll break every protocol, and he will take this poor, mute, recently spelunked woman, a traumatized woman, back into the caves. And that way, they'll go with all the professional spelunkers who might actually find something and get out because they're good at this, and that could reveal the creepy crawlers. So he'll take them back down, and then the likelihood is they'll all get murked. But that doesn't make that much sense either.
That's my other thought, is that like in saving Sarah, he can ensure that a search party goes to those caves, and that's like now 6 people he's feeding instead of having to do one at a time or whatever. So maybe if it is some sort of like religious sacrifice, or I feed them so that they don't come hunting, or whatever it is, it's like they'll be satisfied for longer that way, and there's like less of a threat to his community. But again, it's one of those things that they just kind of don't get into, because I think they just want the shock ending for 100%. This one.
They didn't think it through at all, and they were like, we're just gonna make it crazy.
The crawler jumping out of the hole at the end, now that I've introduced what am I trying to say? I know what you did last summer. Now that I've introduced that franchise into the conversation as well, the like jumping out like hands first is very the end of the first movie when the fisherman is jumping through the glass.
Yeah, I think they were just trying to do something cunty. They're just trying to do, I know what you did last summer, the very first one too, where they're like, oh, and then the guys in the sauna, how scary. Like, they just want to do like a little jump scare at the end because
they can.
A horror film of a certain caliber loves to end the movie that way. Yeah. And I don't think it makes a lot of sense. I just think that why did they make him the guy at the beginning and the guy at the end? I guess they had to introduce him, but he didn't have to be the guy who found Sarah. Like, he could just be the guy who knows about the mines.
Yeah, the like carekeeper of the mine area or whatever.
And also, I understand what you're saying with like, oh, if he's like some religious thing, he wants to bring them more food. They just ate 6 chicks. They do not need to eat 6 more fucking chicks and a fucking cop and a throuple. Like, they don't need to do that right now. If he's smart, we just lost 6 chicks. We got to go low profile. We're going to, okay, guys, I just gave you 6 delicious women. Now I am going to give you deers for a while. We got to keep a low profile. Say this to the crawlers. Like, be smart about it. He's not being
Hey guys,
smart.
I know you don't speak my language anymore because of your years of Evolution Underground, but can we just get on the same page really quickly? We just got to like keep it really quiet for a minute.
The crawlers aren't going to know either way, so they don't need to send all these other bitches down there. Like, it's just not, it's not good business. It's not good business practice. Yeah. And he's a bad businessman, if you ask me. Anyway, we can talk about the 47 meters greater extended universe.
47 meters fall greater universe.
Fall down the spelunking descent.
47 meters down.
Okay, So this is gonna have spoilers for Fall, which we haven't covered yet on this podcast, but it's also gonna have spoilers, obviously, for both movies in the Descent and both 47 Meters Down movies. But
You've been warned.
you've been warned. Okay, this is a long list, by the way, just preparing you guys. So,
Okay.
number one, opening adventure slash tragedy cut to 1 year post accident. They do that in the Descent with the whitewater rafting and Sarah's husband and daughter dying in a car crash and then jumping ahead. And they do that in Fall, where the trio goes rock climbing and then the husband falls and dies. Number two, sisters hiding from a blind cave monster. In the Descent, we have the two blonde sisters holding each other on the ground, and in 47 Meters Down, Uncaged, it feels like there's like almost an identical shot with like the shark swimming over them.
Totally.
Sisters Trapped, number three, that's sort of a similar one. But in the Descent has two sisters, 47 Meters Down is two sisters, and 47 Meters Down Uncaged is two stepsisters. Number four, Cave In. The Descent has when Sarah crawls through the hole. And then in The Descent 2, obviously there's an additional cave in with Kath. 47 Meters Down Uncaged, they have the excavation cave opening when they're like going into the Mayan temple or whatever it was.
The ruins.
Yeah. And then in Fall, it's like sort of the opposite when the ladder falls away. That's sort of their version of the cave-in moment. Number five, Blind Pale Evolutionary Outliers. Obviously, they have the crawlers in the Descent, and they also have the sharks in 47 Meters Down Uncaged. Number six, Friend Betrayal slash Dumb Bitch Behavior. You have Juno leading her friends into the wrong cave and attacking Beth in the Descent. And then in 47 Meters Down Uncaged, you have Nicole dragging them into the cage, knocking over the pillar, and then climbing over Alexa to get out of the hole. Number seven, Fucking Your Bestie's Man. Juno fucks. Actually, now I don't know what his name is. Maybe I wrote the wrong name in my notes here. But Juno fucks Sarah's husband and has the like feather necklace. And then in Fall, the bestie was also fucking her bestie's husband and had a tattoo for him. Number eight, Girl Flirting Hang. In the Descent, they have their cabin scene where all the girls are being flirty with each other. And Holly is like hitting on one of the sisters, in my opinion. And also, obviously, Holly and Juno were fucking, but they're both, they say, a sports fuck. So I think it was casual for them. And then in 47 Meters Down Uncaged, they have that whole watering hole scene where all of the girls are flirting with each other and having fun. I've lost count, but I think we're at number nine. Imagined Escape at the ending. In the Descent, we have Sarah opening her eyes and the alternate endings. And 47 Meters Down, we have Mandy Moore realizing she's still at the bottom and that she hallucinated the escape to the top with her sister surviving and her sister coming back. And then in Fall, also, she realizes that her friend actually has been dead for a long time now, and that she was hallucinating that her friend was still there with her.
Yeah, that shit was brutal.
Yeah.
Number 10, unnecessary sequel that's actually a sleigh. The Descent has Descent 2, and 47 Meters Down has 47 Meters Down Uncaged. Number 11, flares as visual motif. The Descent, 47 Meters Down, 47 Meters Down Uncaged. Crawling through a tight tunnel, number 12, The Descent, and 47 Meters Down Uncaged. Number 13, we're running out of time because of our equipment. In The Descent, that is batteries and their headlamps and flashlights. And in 47 Meters Down, 47 Meters Down Uncaged, that's the air in their tanks. And number 14, leg injury in the middle of the movie. In The Descent, not even Juno's part, but in The Descent, Holly falls down that hole and has the compound fracture in her leg. And 47 Meters Down, Mandy Moore gets pinned under the cage. And in Fall, Becky hurts her leg when the ladder falls. So that's just
And let's we not forget who came first. It was The Descent. So all of the rest of them were copying the blueprint, which is The Descent 2009.
The Descent 2, 47 Meters Down, 47 Meters Down Uncaged, Fall.
Don't get it twisted.
The three of them. These movies are so, it's like, it's crazy, actually. It's kind of crazy.
It's insane. There's so much overlap. And that is why, I don't know, some of the issues that we have with the descent are improved upon in these other movies, but then a lot of them are just rehashing the same business. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's nice to see something similar. It just feels familiar. And you feel so held as the blind shark is eating all your friends, you know?
Mhm.
Okay. So, with that, are we ready for our
Segments.
she
It's
wins
my
'cause
birthday!
it's her
Yay!
birthday. That's nice.
couldn't-
Nobody
way to
say
let her
anything
have
else. It's my
it.
I
birthday!
was trying to reconnect my headphones and couldn't hear it.
Got it! Yeah! The
Like a
universe gave
montage.
me one. No, it's my birthday. She didn't say that.
Okay, we've already talked about this a lot, but how could this movie be gayer? It can always be gayer.
It could always be gayer if the actress who plays one of the characters could recognize the possibility that there might be
Would
some
just
gay
admit
stuff
it.
going on. Yeah. Hey you acted in the movie, so I'm not sure why you didn't see it, but it seems very gay to me.
Sorry to tell you that you were like actually acting like super
You were kind of
gay.
like giving a little gay, but yeah.
You were acting
Obviously
so gay in that movie. Now we're
well,
bullying her.
yeah, I mean
This is
she
queer on
bullied me
queer hate
first.
crime.
She stomped on my head cannon. But no, I mean obviously Juno and Sarah's whole thing is extremely, extremely queer to me. I again think that it is less there for Sarah than it is for Juno until they've sort of evened the playing field and everybody else is out of the picture. But it is very explicitly like I'm choosing to die by your side and not to go on attempting to live without you, even if maybe I could. Like, not for sure she could, but like she could try, and she doesn't. She's like, I want to die here next to you. So that's very
Beautiful.
gay. We've been over the throuple. Again, I think that they are a romantic throuple, the three of them. And I love that for them. And I also think Rios is a lesbian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think she
She's
has
got a
a
wife at home.
lot of, no, I think she has an ex-wife.
Oh,
I think that she had a very messy gay breakup, and that's kind of why she's like tapping into this Juno Sarah stuff.
oh wow. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I hope she heals.
And that's why she doesn't
Well,
like,
she's dead.
she's not like leaving a message for her partner. You know what I mean? She's only leaving a message for her daughter. And that's
Single
because
mom.
things are too complicated with her ex-wife for her to get into it,
What
you know.
would she even say? She doesn't have the time.
What is there even to how could I possibly? Yeah,
You can't
so
boil it down.
she's just gonna tell her daughter that she loves her. And even though she doesn't make it out at the end of the movie, at least her daughter has another lesbian mom to raise her somewhere in the
Thank
world.
God.
So
Thank
that's
God.
something. Yeah.
When one
That
mom
makes
goes
sense.
down, another mom steps up. The
Yeah.
beautiful, perfect home life, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also within the context of queer repression being the danger in these movies, I'm going to go ahead and say that the police chief does not identify as gay and doesn't think of himself as gay, but he definitely was doing gay stuff in locker rooms. And if that senator said, suck my dick, he would get on his knees.
100%. 100%. That's clear. It's right there.
We've already talked about the beautiful throuple.
I think that old man feeding them to the crawlers, he's gay.
Yeah. No, there's
At least a
distinct
chaos
queerness about
bisexual,
him.
for sure.
He's doing this sort of like southern queer thing though, where it's like they just don't talk about it and everybody's like, oh, that's his roommate or whatever.
He's like, I can't fuck a man. He's so repressed. But like his way to like deal with that is by feeding people wholesale to the abominations underneath the ground. That's how he copes with his repression. And that's why you got to let that freak flag fly. You got to let yourself be free. Otherwise, you'll start feeding a cat, and all of a sudden, you're feeding bodies to the crawlers in the deep, dark, deep.
If
Uh,
Juno just confessed to Sarah way earlier on before Sarah got married to Paul, I think that everything in this movie franchise could have been avoided and they could have been raising a beautiful daughter together, maybe. Who can say?
yeah. It's so sad.
There's this crazy Reddit thread that someone made when I was looking for other people to say that The Descent is a gay movie. Um, that someone said The Descent, a film about queer childbirth envy. Um, and it goes kind of off the rails, but it says, I'm normally not a horror movie fan, but this one had me hooked. I'm a bisexual polyamorous woman, and here's my interpretation. The Descent is a movie about queer childbirth envy. In the first scene, the women are rafting. It's challenging, chaotic, fun, and wet. The husband watches, but otherwise isn't involved. Juno is in love with Sarah, true. And at the same time, envies her and her husband because they have conceived and have brought something new, Jesse, into the world together. Exploring a new cave is Juno's idea. Why did she keep it a secret from the others? Because she's hiding a secret desire to create a lasting legacy with Sarah and to name the cave together once they've endured the challenges, pushing and coaching each other through the excruciating pain and finally emerging out of the cave womb.
Spelunking is like the birth canal.
It's like rebirthing. But then she also said, but she won't get what she wants because she hasn't been honest and the women don't trust her. She raped them in a metaphorical way because she couldn't admit to herself what she really wanted all along and took it by deception. And it's like, okay.
I want to shake hands
Intense.
with this Redditor. Holy crap.
There are
I
two
feel-
comments on this post, by the way. One says, okay. And the other says, wow.
Please share it in the references. That is, I want to be the third comment and say, go off, queen.
It's so true, queen.
So true, queen. I co-sign this.
Yeah, I have a horror movie podcast and I co-sign.
And I support this message.
We have not been talking about the womb-like nature of the spelunking caves. We really haven't. That's a big misstep on our part. All right, run
The
it back.
movies
Start
are
the
about mothers
episode
and
over.
daughters, and the cave is the womb.
The fallopian tube. Like, let's get into it. With that, any other gay thoughts you'd like to share?
So many more gay thoughts.
Okay, Matthew Lillard, where would he fit into this movie? He's a natural part of a throuple. I feel like he just
Yeah.
naturally
Yeah.
should be in a throuple
He
or a
could be.
quadruple if it's with us.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, for sure.
That's a non sequitur. Keep going.
Yeah, Dan, Greg.
I think I love a throuple. The trio dynamic I love, but I think just like toss them in there and make them like a polycule. You know, now there's four of
Yeah.
them.
Okay,
great.
actually, I think he should be Ed,
Who's Ed?
the old guy.
Oh,
Oh.
of course you know his name. That's you. Of course you fucking know his
Oh,
name.
Ed. Of course, Ed. What was I thinking? Oh, Ed. Yeah.
Why
Or
did they say his name? I
Wait, do we
believe you.
put him in old age makeup, or do we have to wait until he's old and we'll do a remake of this movie?
He's just a Gen X guy who feeds crawlers.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what smart
Okay.
does.
Also,
I could see Gen X doing that, not just
He could be
boomers. It's
that
not a
one-
boomer only activity, Chelsea.
Yeah. he could be that one cop who has the dog.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember him very vividly. I would
Mhm.
remember him much
Yep.
more if
If it was
he
Matthew
was
Lillard.
Matthew Lillard.
I feel like you guys missed the scene where Ed is telling us about his grandfather, and then they do a flashback of the grandfather going into the cave in old-timey clothes, and it's Matthew Lillard.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's already in it. Okay, well, we can just skip this segment.
Yeah.
then. Okay, cool. All right,
I
moving
think he
on.
plays each of the crawlers.
Imagine
yeah.
if there's just
He's-
one of them that's
He's the
using
big
tongue.
crawler.
He's the mega crawler. Yeah, I was reading some shit on Reddit and stuff. Redditor. Okay, I'm having a hard time. And on Screen Rant, and they're like, "Oh yeah," and then they meet the alpha of the crawlers, and I was like, I wasn't paying attention to that.
How
shit,
can you
girl.
tell one apart from the other? Yeah.
One was actually
One's a
incredibly
girl
beefy
and that's
masculine.
it?
One had this like mass that was
Beefy.
insane. Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to that. I was thinking about
Yeah.
it's the one that killed Juno. I was thinking about Juno.
I was thinking about Juno and I was thinking about Sarah.
I'm not thinking about those crawlers at all. That's not true. I'm thinking about them a little bit.
They are not characters, they are set dressing.
Who don't have enough brains in their head. I'll say it again. Anyway, that leads us to the dumb bitch, and I would like to nominate whoever thought that they had a quarter-sized brain inside of their head. There could have been so much jelly and jam squooshing out of that slow-mo squash that we got. It wasn't slow-mo, but it felt slow-mo. And I was like, wait, I was just waiting. I was like, something else has got to come out of there. It was like this much stuff. It was like an inch of stuff that came out. Disappointing. Missed opportunity. Could have been like, squata! Like, just imagine it. Like, viscera everywhere. Anyway.
Yeah. Obviously, also, the police chief is a really good nomination for dumb bitch because he's truly out dumb bitching Juno in this movie.
Yeah, and that's really huge. Juno is doing hero shit in this one. I mean, if
Juno
we're just thinking about this one.
Yeah. Juno's not doing any dumb bitch behavior in the sequel. She got it out of the way already.
Yeah, no, she's just trying to make up for it, and that's what she does till she dies.
She's just Tomb Raidering all over the place. It's crazy how Tomb Raider she's going.
Cropped in that shit. It's wild. It's overt. Yeah, no, I think it really goes to Vanes in this one, the cop, because he just does just absolutely, like, he doesn't do one thing that's good. Everything he does is dumb and bad and stupid.
Yeah.
Thusly,
here's the handcuff thing alone deserves.
Oh my god.
What a little bitch. Yeah.
This is like literally idiotic. It's just like, it's beyond dumb bitch. It's like, I want to say like a bad word. Like, I don't know. There's not a bad word for it. Like, we need to make up one. We need to make up a slur. We need to make up a slur just for this man. Like, it's unbelievable. Okay.
He is the villain.
He's the villain. So if we're unanimous, then it takes us right to our knives out of fives. And Chelsea, birthday queen. I know that this got 12 Oscars and it's in the Louvre. They played in the Louvre.
Definitely won a bunch of MTV awards.
I wish.
Best kiss for sure.
Well, here's the thing about this movie. In many countries, it was actually a straight to DVD or VHS release. It did not get a theatrical release.
I cannot believe it.
It did get a theatrical release in like England. It is technically like a British movie, I think. Which is also funny because again, they're kind of disregarding the UK ending, and that's like where it's getting its theatrical release. But yeah, so this movie, you know, was not. It's just kind of doing its thing. I'll contextualize with numbers from the first movie. The first movie got a 7.2 out of 10 on IMDb. It had 86% fresh from critics on Rotten Tomatoes and 76% fresh from audiences. This movie, the sequel, has a 5.7 out of 10 on IMDb. And then on Rotten Tomatoes, it has 48% rotten from critics and 34% rotten from audiences. So kind of a stinker. They kind of labeled it as a stinker.
Oh no.
Not Chelsea.
Not Chelsea though. Chelsea
they didn't see what I saw.
I think Chelsea should go last because they saved the best for last, and she's the birthday girl. And maybe Sydney. Well, what do you have to say, Sydney? You should go first.
I'm gonna give this a 3.5 out of 5. It was a lot more fun when we all watched it together. And we were, you know, like hee ha-haing and like shooting the shit with it, you know? Less fun watching by yourself.
Sure.
But I still had a good time with it. Know what I mean? Like, this is one of those like bad movies where it's like, if I'm gonna watch the first one, I'm gonna watch the second one. Know what I mean? Like, we're having a double feature.
Oh my god.
That's the opposite how Monica feels.
I cannot disagree with you more. I'm never going to watch this movie again, and I'm so excited. I found it to be almost impossible to watch because I could not get my brain to do it. My brain was like, Like, you can't see me turning away. Like, I could not keep my attention. It was really, really hard. So that was, bad going into it. So that's on me in some regards. I'm gonna give this like a 2.7. I find it to be an abomination, especially in comparison to the first movie, which I think is actually pretty good. It's not perfect by any means, but I think it's like at least a very interesting and influential, as Chelsea just illustrated beautifully with 13 different points, as how influential the first one was. Um, this is a classic scenario for me. Okay, let me caveat this first. I had a wonderful time discussing it, and so I'm glad that the movie that exists, because this was a very fun episode and it was very fun to discuss, and I love how much Chelsea loves it. For me, on my own journey, don't listen, Chelsea. It's a classic scenario where, like, we didn't need a sequel. We really fucking didn't need a sequel. You could have just let Sleeping Dogs fucking lie. My God. Just let it die. Just let her die or not die, depending on which country you live in. But of course, it happened. And for that, we have to deal with it. And we had to cover it. We had to confront this crawler in the night. But anyway, it is. I do like some. They don't dive into the emotional stuff like nearly as much, I think, as they did in the first one, which is another part that I really like about it, all the interpersonal stuff. But I do like some of the stuff that they do with Juno and Sarah, and I do like that they make it even more overt that they're deeply in love. And I thought Kath was lovely, and I liked that part. But God, Vanes is the stupidest bitch. God tier stupid ass bitch. God, like, just one of the stupidest ones in history. So there you go. Love you, Chelsea. Sorry.
Okay, my turn. I gave the first. Oh, do you guys want to know what you gave the first movie? Would you like
Yeah.
to know? Sydney gave the first movie a 4. Monica gave it a 4.6, and I gave it a 3.5. So I think that we're all just kind of on our own journeys. Because I like the first one more once I've like had time to process it. But it is not giving what I would want from the like a girly horror movie. And it is beyond that, not like the creature feature aspect of it is like not really what I'm drawn to as a horror movie. Maybe if they'd been sharks for real. But it just like it didn't quite hit where I wanted it to hit, but there were elements in that I was really interested in, and those elements are what they really spotlighted in the sequel, and what they really like built out here, and that's why I love the second one so much. Like, it's not a good movie, it's not necessarily a good horror sequel. However, if what you're interested in The Descent is Juno and Sarah and their relationship, you're fed. You're so fed by the second one. And that's all that I'm looking for, and I am eating it up, and I am having a feast. And so for me, like, again, it is not good, but it is like made to taste. It is customizable for Chelsea. So
All right, Spices.
I'm gonna give it like a 4.85, I think, because they're just I don't care. I know it's like ridiculous, but it's just like they said, like, what were Chelsea's notes on the first movie? Okay, we're gonna take that into consideration for the second movie. And they pissed off everybody else, but somebody had to love it, and that person is me.
I'm happy for you, especially on this, the day of your birth. On this 2 days before your birth.
It's so funny to me that this is my birthday pick this year, because when I went back and I listened to the first episode, it wasn't like quite my birthday episode. The episode before had been my birthday episode where we did Influencer, which is also a toxic Yuri movie in my opinion. But we opened that episode by being like, Chelsea birthday 2 weeks or whatever. I don't know why. And so like it was kind of just like a full circle Chelsea The Descent birthday moment.
It's
So
all come together.
it really felt right to me for
feels
this to
good.
be the episode that we did this week.
It feels good. And now it's over. I'm kidding. I really like talking about it, and I love you. And your birthday is all month long, and you're a
It's
beautiful
just
angel, and you're a
it's just
genius.
so funny
Chelsea,
to me.
perfect.
It's so funny to
Chelsea,
me.
perfect. And
The
I
way
love.
this movie literally is like, by the way, Juno survived. It's like, oh my God, thank you. Like,
By the way, she's
stop.
alive, and actually, she's actually pretty cool.
She's
if
actually
you think about
hotter
it.
than ever, and her and Sarah are gonna gaze deeply into each other's eyes and say, "I don't want to live without you."
And she's like really good at killing crawlers now. By the way, she's like
Yeah.
really, and she's really.
She
sexy
leveled
when she
up
does
down
it,
there.
by the way. In 2 days, she's forgotten everything she knows except for wielding the pickaxe as a life-ending weapon.
Mhm.
Anyway, but as recompense for me having to do this movie, I got to choose the next one. We didn't ever innately discuss that, but it is how it worked out. And I'm happy about it. If you are one of our patrons, then you already have seen this whole thing go down. But very recently, we had a trailer reaction for, spoiler alert a little bit, Predator Badlands, where it was revealed to me that neither of these bitches have seen a single Predator movie. Okay, that's not
I
true.
watched
Chelsea has
Prey.
seen- We're not going to talk about that though, because you didn't like it, and we're going to get into a fight right now, and I don't want to fight.
I
don't
love to
wanna
fight. I love to fight.
See, today I didn't bring that like anger to this party. I just
No.
hated it, but for myself in my own space. It doesn't have to always be a fight, but it'll be a fight about Prey. Anyway, they've never seen Predator. They've not seen any of them except for Prey, and we're not talking about it. And that's a travesty because that is. It's. I mean, how can you ever watch AVP if you've never seen P? Come on.
That's so true. I have to do
It's
my
so
homework so that
true.
I can do AVP one day.
Yeah, because it's so good. But anyway, we're going back. We're going back to Arnold. We're seeing him in his prime. We're seeing him saying some of his best one-liners, and we're doing the OG Predator, which came out in a year that I didn't look up, and I'm sorry, maybe 1989 or maybe 1987. No one
Google it right
knows.
now.
I feel certain that I must have known before this moment that Arnold
1987.
Schwarzenegger was in
87.
these movies,
I
but
was right.
I forgot, I guess. So that's cool.
Yeah. This is some of his most iconic lines that you associate with him are in this film.
This is the one where he says, "I'll be back."
Yep, it's that one. For sure. That's it. That's the one.
This is the one where he says, "I'm the Terminator."
Yeah, it's that one. It's Predator is the one where he says, "I'm the Terminator," and that's definitely one of the lines that he says.
No, he
"I'm
says,
the Terminator."
I'm the Predator killer.
Oh yeah,
He's
I've heard about that one,
terminating
too.
predators.
I'm the Predator's Predator. That's
I am the
exactly what he
Predator's
said.
Predator. Yeah, no, everybody's heard that quote from him, and it's very inspirational. And now you'll get to see him say it live. Not live, but you'll get
Great.
to see him say it. But yeah, this is a really fun movie. If you haven't seen it, what? Again, what to both of you bitches? But anyway, I like it a
Everybody's
lot.
got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't take it too like seriously. It's not like it's gonna change your life. The Predator series is not on the same intellectual level as the Alien series. Like, don't want you to go in expecting that. If you have,
I'm
way too
going
many
in with
after
Descent
saying
2
that,
vibes.
go in with Descent 2 vibes, girl. Let's do it. But I feel
I'm
like
going
it's fun.
crawlers to
I feel like
predators.
it gives summer movie, and for when we're recording this, that is appropriate. And September is summer still in LA, so we can do
Fall
whatever we
doesn't
want.
technically start
95
until
degrees
the
here
end
in
of
Alabama.
September.
So
Exactly.
summer.
It's a summer. It's summer. It's summer, and we're doing Predator, and I hope that you enjoy it. But today, my little tagline for getting you to do a 5-star review is pretty easy. It's Chelsea's fucking birthday. That's the least you can do.
guys.
Wish her happy birthday in a 5-star review. Please write it down forever so people will always see it. They'll come to see Spooky Tuesday. The first thing they'll see, at least for a little while, is "Happy birthday, Chelsea." And they'll be like, "How interesting.
Chelsea.
There's a girl named Chelsea on this podcast and she was born. That's
Oh my
beautiful.
god, she had a birthday. That's so
That's enticing
sweet.
Her
me.
birthday.
That's enticing me to listen to Spooky
I've never
Tuesday.
met
See,
somebody who
thank
has
you
a
so much.
birthday before.
It'll open people's
the
eyes.
first
So
one.
think about it. Or even just a 5-star rating on Spotify if you're feeling a little under the weather and you can't quite type those letters. That's fine. We'll also take a follow on Instagram or any social media. That's where Chelsea does her godly work.
Yeah.
You got to see her godly work. That's Spooky_Tuesday on pretty much everything except for Facebook and Tumblr, where we're Spooky Tuesday Pod. Check out our website, www.spookytuesdaypod.com, and you will find every bit of information that you could possibly want about this goddamn podcast, and it'll make you feel so good inside, and you'll see cute pictures of us, and you'll have a good time. And also, there's a link right there to our Patreon. And there you will find all of our trailer reactions, all of our exclusive content, which is super freaky these days. And also access to our Discord, which is tons of fun. Right now, we are having weekly watch parties for Alien Earth. So very timely to us watching Predator in some ways, in some regards, some would say. And also we are on YouTube, and this whole video might not even show up on YouTube because I'm covered in that much blood, and I didn't think about that before I put it all over the front of my face where it cannot be hidden. So I am Kath. After she deep throats a bunch of old dead lady blood. She's not an old lady, but she's been dead a couple days. And we have beautiful Chelsea here. Chelsea, speak your truth. Who are you?
I'm Juno, but specifically from the first movie. That's when she has her ponytail.
Ah,
So then it works. And who are you, Sydney?
I'm Ed.
So clear.
And we all know who Ed is.
Yeah,
we would never
we all
forget
know
who
about
Ed
Ed.
is.
The movie Ed.
He is the star, okay?
It starts
It's
and
very important.
ends with Ed, okay?
Yeah, the buck stops and starts here, and it's with Ed, okay? And yeah, you can only see that on our beautiful YouTube channel, so go subscribe there. And yeah, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for celebrating the birth of our beautiful Chelsea. She's so gorgeous. Tell her that she's the best.
Stop.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Stop.
And we will see you next Tuesday.
Bye, Spookies.
Spooky Tuesday was created by Monica Height, Sydney Thompson, and Chelsea Duff, and edited by Sydney Thompson. Our gorgeously spooky tunes are all thanks to Tamara Simons, who you can follow on Instagram at Great18. That's GR818_. And our podcast art is by Ryan Brom, who you can follow on Instagram at Ryan Brom Art. That's RyanBrommArt. Learn more about Spooky Tuesday at spookytuesdaypod.com and subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/spooky_Tuesday.